everybody, and welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to be taking a look at the Lemax Phantom Castle. Let's get into it. Okay, so the Phantom Castle, it was released in 2024. The SKU number off the top is 45216. Now for some dimensions. We have 12.95 inches high, 12.52 inches wide, and 12.20 inches in depth. Product type, Sights and Sounds, and it is made of resin. Now let's talk power. This is going to be your standard 4.5 volt DC power adapter that is included, and it draws about 430 milliamps. As for the plug, it is located in the back of the unit, and it does have your standard power volume roll switch. And yes, it does also include a soundtrack. Please note, I read in the directions that it is English only, so regardless of where you buy this house, the soundtrack is in English according to the directions. Now let's talk price. We have $139.99. This thing is worth it. There is no question about it. I know 140 bucks is a lot of money. There's no question about that. But this is going to be, and you will see, one of those houses that everybody's going to want, and the collection value of it over time, I believe, will skyrocket. Oh, before I forget, guys, during the setup, it does come separately with some bats that are in like this little compartment of the box. They're super easy to put on, just like a lot of other Lemax houses. You just pop it in the little slot. In this case, it's located on the skeleton, and then they kind of just go in circles. But they're super cute, and they have, you know, a reasonable amount of detail for kind of what they're doing, and I'm sure at night it'll look even cooler. Now let's talk weight. It's coming in about 6.5 pounds according to my little home scale, so keep in mind that that is an estimate. Okay, so that about wraps up all of the facts. Now it's time we take a closer look. So starting from the top, you will see some amazing stonework once again, or bricks, however you want to look at it. Like I said in the last video for the 24 stuff, the detail in the stonework is unreal. There's also a super cute little skeleton sitting up there, as well as some fire torches that really do pulse, and it looks amazing at night. Next up is the sign itself, Phantom Castle. It delivers, you know, it kind of reminds me almost like Disneyland's Phantasmic kind of thing, that kind of color scheme feel. I don't know, that's kind of what it rings like to me, but it's cool, you know, it sticks out, but it is really, really clear, so beautifully printed, even on the uneven surface of the bricks. Next up, I want to bring your attention to one of the main features. It is this huge, and I mean gigantic, skeleton-like figure, borderline demon. Again, great detail work, and the red like suit or cape, whatever that is that it's wearing, the hood thing there, it really does complement the overall house. It kind of gives it a little bit more of a unique feel. It kind of like an accent almost, but nonetheless, the skeleton is great. The teeth are good size. The eyes are almost vicious. So really cool, and it's even got these like hands, skeleton-like hands that are really good size. I mean, you can see that this theme park ride, or a dark ride rather, is really kind of intertwined within the soul of this skeleton-like character. Okay, so let's take a look at the ride itself. First off, the conveyor belt concept. This is going to be the closest that I think we're probably ever going to get, or at least for a very long time, to some version of a roller coaster. I know we've all wanted one for many years, including me, but it's just not really feasible as of right now with the size and everything else that it would have to be to kind of make it work. So this is going to be the closest thing. The conveyor belt is kind of representing like the fall of the ride, the main thrill part of the ride. And there are a lot of different cars that are coming down this thing with some reasonably cool detail. As far as the smoothness of operation, you know, it's a conveyor belt, so there's a little bit of play, but it kind of fits in with what the ride itself is doing. And I don't think that it's going to really bother anybody that it is not the most fluent thing in the world, but all things considered for what it is, I think it rides pretty well. Moving a little more towards the right here, this is kind of where like on a dark ride at a carnival or something like that, where you see the cart kind of sneak out of the ride into the daylight for a second and then kind of go back in. But I wanted to note that this part is particularly smooth, but there's also some really great detail in this section with the bricks and the rock work, and even the track looks kind of cool, so highlight there. And of course, there's some lighting and stuff to complement. Next up is another portion of the ride where they appear to be kind of coming in and out once again. Maybe they're getting ready to start heading up towards the, the conveyor belt drop zone area, if you will. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be kind of a loading area as well or what, or maybe just the beginning of the ride. I'm not sure, but again, the detail is great, and there is some skeletons with like a little gravestone and stuff like that with some writing on it. And again, the track looks beautiful. The rock work is great. So it's somewhere between like a loading zone and like kind of the start of the ride before they're getting ready to head up the big mountain. Okay, so now working our way more towards the bottom here, there is a bunch of things to see down here. I'm just gonna kind of read a few off while I kind of show you everything, but you are gonna find stuff like the Grim Reaper, some exit signs, graveyard signs. There's this really cool section where the exit of the ride is, where it looks like some people are kind of running out scared. And again, more signs, stonework that is this, again, next level. I know I'm repeating that through this video, but you'll see when this thing is in person in front of you, how incredible the level of detail is on this piece. But again, they filled it up nicely, not too much where it looks messy, but really a nice balance. A couple last notes about this house. There is a bunch of like little hidden skulls around this place. There's also another sign, right if you dare, that kind of stuff. But overall, this is one of those houses that is just going to deliver. You could put this in your carnival. You could put this at the center of your village. I mean, this is that house this year. There are some great ones for the season, but if I could only pick one for the Halloween season, so far this is going to be that house. I think it's bang for your buck, a little pricey, but still bang for your buck. It's rare that we get this kind of roller coaster theme. So there you go. That is the Lemax 2024 Phantom Castle. I love it. It's a favorite. I'm going to go ahead and hit the light so you can see this thing in all of its glory. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And as always, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one.
What have we gotten ourselves into?